Welcome to the Inland Sports TV show. Jeff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez, and that is a wrap on the high school football season.
It seemed like it was about 8 months long, but finally we had two teams that played for a state championship. And yeah, like you said, it is a wrap.
It always kind of like butts up to Christmas. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I can't even get the Christmas lights out. I can't even get the shopping. My wife's having me paint the walls in our house on the outside. Like it's just been crazy because football's gone so long. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. You can call San Gorgonio or Kaiser. I've got Coach Cardosi's number right here. Give him a call. Tell him this is not cool. But they played so long.
Yeah, the honey-do lists are now going to start for you, Pep Fernandez. And
oh, they've started.
But I'll tell you what, how fun was this football season?
It was a blast. I know we go all the way back to, because remember, the season started early, early in August. It's been a long football season, but I feel like even the last couple of years, I feel like it's been the golden age of Inland Empire football. We've had so many teams winning state championships, winning CIF titles, getting to the state playoffs, breaking records. We had Brandon Rankins last year with all the rushing records. We had Jayden Daniels this year with all the passing records. So I feel like the last 2, 3, 4 years has been like the golden age of IE football. On Saturday night, we had San G playing for a state championship. We had Kaiser playing for a state championship, and we had the 34th annual Inland Empire All-Star Classic. So that's how we wrapped up high school football, was a huge Saturday night.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that All-Star Classic is a great slideshow for players that are either going to go on to play college football or guys that are going to suit up for the very last time in a football uniform. It was a great way for them to show off their skills and kind of give their parents, the people they love, a chance to kind of end their career.
And we're going to talk more about the All-Star Classic in just a moment. And, of course, a football signing day, right? We have the early signing period now for high school football. So tomorrow, a bunch of the top players in the Inland Empire will actually sign their scholarship. This is something new they rolled out last year where they can actually sign now, like right before Christmas. And some of these guys will enroll early so they can go into spring ball with their college team. So this is something kind of new. And we're going to kind of run down some of the big names here in the Inland Empire, high school football-wise, that will be signing early, and we will go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling, as we check up with Milan Acquaah. Aquaman, dude, is off to a crazy start. He had another big game last night, which we'll get to. He's insane.
Can I just say this? You know, we've talked, there's been so many teams that have made the transition from NAI Division II to Division I. And I will say this, that nobody has made a bigger impact in college basketball than this CBU basketball team this year. Nobody's done it as well as they have. They are going to compete and maybe play for a championship in the WAC conference.
Yeah, the transition from Division II to Division I can be wacky because it's hard to fill a schedule. Yeah. You could be playing some really good teams. You could be traveling a lot, which they have. The Lancers have been all over the place, but they've kind of made this seamless, transition to the D1 level.
Yeah, and they're starting to be recognized on a national stage. A lot of places we go, people are talking about California Baptist. They're saying this team, like you said, is making the seamless transition and done it better than anybody. And it's all due to Coach Rick Croy, the coaching staff, the administration, and that beautiful arena on campus.
Yeah, and we kind of figured that a lot of these CBU teams, once they make the jump to Division I, there wasn't going to be some sort of a growing pains phase where they're going to take their lumps and there was going to take some time to kind of build up to that Division I level. The caliber of players and talent were already on campus, so that's why they're already one of the top teams, at least in the WAC. You're probably on the West Coast now, at least for men's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to continue to get better and better and better. And the only downside of this is they're not going to get to play in the big dance for 3 years.
No, not the NCAA tournament, but there are other postseason tournaments that they could qualify for. So we got a lot to get to, a lot of CBU basketball. Also, Jeff's trip with UC Riverside. You're back. You were in Texas. You were on the border of Mexico.
I was hanging out in Juarez, Mexico. Hanging out. In fact, I got to see one of my former players who played for me at Riverside Community College, Miguel Ayala. He's the all-time three-point leader at UTEP. Got to hang out with him and catch up with him. And what a great place. University of Texas El Paso, a hidden gem in El Paso.
So we'll talk about your UTEP trip because I heard it was great.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Other than as long as everything other than the game itself was great.
And they lost the game, too.
Yes, they did.
Spoiler alert, they lost against UTEP. All right, a lot of basketball to get to, but we start with high school football. We're going to run down the state championship games and break down the Inland Empire All-Star Classic. Let's start, though, with San Gorgonio in Division 5 AA. The Spartans playing in their first ever state championship game on the road at Rio Linda in Sacramento. Roll those highlights, Anthony, because San G, Jeff, they were so close. They dug themselves a giant hole, but like San G always does, they chipped away. They grabbed that shovel just like I did over the weekend, and they just shoveled their way out. They pulled within 3, but that guy right there, his name is Cameron Skidabo, and he is the San Joaquin section record holder for rushing yards in a season, and he went for 367 on San Gorgonio. San G was down 35-14, and again, they were able to fight back. They pulled all the way within 3, but time ran out. What a great gutty effort by San Gorgonio to not fold up shop, right, and fight back, but they come up 3 points short, 38-35.
Hey, would you have ever thought, and we saw them in the scrimmage beginning of the season, thought that this team, and granted they had the best season ever for San G, would go on to get second place in their league, go on and win a sectional title, and nearly won a state title. What a great story for these young players.
Yeah, it was a fantastic run by San Gorgonio. And remember, they were coming off a season where they didn't have a lot of seniors. They won league, they made it to the playoffs, but they lost in the first round. So a bunch of those guys were coming back. So I don't want to say there were question marks, but it's like, how good is this San Gorgonio team going to be? And certainly when they lost to Eisenhower in league play, the question marks probably returned and said, I don't know how long San G is going to hang around in these Division 9 playoffs for the section. And I was there when they opened up at Big Bear.
Yeah.
And there was something different about this team. I mean, San Gorgonio looked great from the very start. I think it was the offense. The offense was clicking. Jordan Pichot, who only played 1 season with San G as he transferred over from Citrus Valley, I don't know if it just took that the entire season, because, they did have some bright spots along the way, don't get me wrong. But once they got to the playoffs, they were fantastic. And it resulted in a Division 9 section championship, a Southern California title in 5AA, and a berth in the state finals, which they almost won.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jordan Pichot, one of those great running backs that we saw last year, but just coming in and the transition to a new program, a new coach, a new system, everything. They seemed to click later as the season went on, and what a great story for him and that team, because he's a great player.
Yeah, Jordan Pichot, one of the top quarterbacks in the area. In fact, he probably could have played in the All-Star Classic, but again, they were playing the same exact time as the All-Stars were going on at Grand Terrace High School, which again we'll get to in a moment. Now let's shift gears to Kaiser, playing in the state championship in 3A on the road at Wilcox in Santa Clara. And again, both of our local teams having to make that long journey up north and finish off the season. One final game with a long road trip. Let's go to those Kaiser highlights as they were taking on the Wilcox Chargers in this one. And there's Christian Hunter, another big game. He caps off his high school career with 203 yards. He is the he's the leader in the nation this season. There's Mo Wright with another touchdown. Kind of like San Gorgonio, they fell behind. Wilcox, the Chargers, they were led by Gabe Herrera, 231 yards on the ground for that guy Herrera. So they were able to build a lead. And again, like San G, they spent the rest of the game playing catch-up. There's Lucas Mandujano, who was in our studio, 2 weeks ago, and they just simply could not get over the hump. The final score in this one was 41-27. Wilcox wins the 3A state championship, but man, still, I know San G and Kaiser, they're not coming back to the IE with state titles, but we could not be more proud of these guys. What a way to fight to the finish.
No, and Billy Cardosi, I say this, I worked with him over at La Sierra when he was an assistant coach for Mike Churchill. A great football mind, an even better person. I think he relates really well to his kids, and I think that you could see it when they were in studio, when you see him on the field, is they play for him and they play together as one. What is it, we not me?
Yeah, we not me.
I mean, that's
we not me did this.
Yeah.
We do what we do. We did what we did. The whole thing.
You really think about the last 2 years. They've had the best running backs. They had
Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier was a Division I running back, and you had Christian Hunter. Both guys are phenomenal. Can you imagine? That was the backup last year. The backup. He led the nation in rushing. That's an incredible, pretty incredible stat.
I remember going to a Kaiser playoff game last season. I want to say it was in the quarterfinals. And again, Tyler Algier was getting all the attention because he was fantastic last year. But I do remember a guy named Christian Hunter. In fact, if I remember correctly, I have to go back because I know we have the video of it. I think he returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. I'm like, wow, this Christian Hunter guy is pretty good too. Lo and behold, he leads the nation in rushing yards this season. Yeah. So,
in fact, he is going to announce his college decision on our show.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Christian Hunter, who probably could go anywhere. His college decision, he's going to make it right here on the Inland Sports TV show coming up.
Yeah, couldn't ask for it. Like I said, Billy Cardosi, one of the best guys in all of high school football.
All right, now let's cap off our high school football here with the 34th playing of the Inland Empire All-Star Classic. It was live on Riverside TV at Grand Terrace High School. And it was these guys bringing home the championship trophy. Those are the Riverside County All-Stars in those red Ken Sporting Good Adidas beautiful uniforms out there with head coach Barry Meyer. You can kind of see him kneeling on one knee here in the front. Matt Logan's back there. I think, is that Matt Logan here in the hat on the right-hand side? So it was a star-studded coaching staff here for the Riverside County team. Let's roll those highlights out there at Grand Terrace High School as Riverside County wins the All-Star Classic by a score of 35-7. That was the very first play from scrimmage in this game. 16 seconds in, Reggie Retzlaff out of Centennial airs it out to Tyler Mosley. Remember, Retzlaff was a quarterback, transferred to Centennial, and became an awesome receiver. Keelan Woods out of Indian Springs scored the only San Bernardino County score. And how about this guy at a Heritage High School? We love Heritage. Curvin Jones takes it back to the house for a defensive touchdown here. He would go on to be the game's MVP as Riverside County would punch in a couple late touchdowns, a couple on the ground. There's Kaviante Patterson out of Orange Vista. There's Dorian Cole out of Moreno Valley. And one more, it's going to be Thornburg out of Hemet to Jayden Williams from Centennial for the touchdown. 35-7 the final score. Riverside County beats San Bernardino County, but it was 7-7 at halftime. So I know you look at the score and like 35-7. Oh, Riverside County ran away with it. No, it was 7-7 at halftime. It was a close game.
Well, I was sitting in my hotel room in UTEP, and I had a smart TV, so I was watching the game. As soon as I turned on the game, it was the start of the game. I said, it's already 7-0. It was 15 seconds in. Yeah. But man, what a great honor to be part of this game. And you guys did a great job.
Yeah, big thanks to Tim Hatch, who spent a lot of the season calling games with Cullen Holt on our Inland Sports channel. A lot of those Thursday night contests. So he joined me on the call. We had Cullen Holt down on the sidelines as well. So it was a great way to kind of put a bow on the season. It was just kind of bizarre having San G and Kaiser playing for state championships at the same time that we had the All-Star Classic.
Yeah, but the good thing about this year and having the game earlier, and the tough thing is that these kids weren't able to participate.
Because there were some San G and Kaiser kids who deserve to be in the All-Star Classic for sure.
But the toughest thing really is that these guys, I mean, it's a great snapshot of their careers, but it was early enough that football was still relevant. Basketball season kind of getting going. A great decision by Jim Clover and the Sport Clinic. Yeah,
we love Jim Clover and all the guys behind that. And by design, that's the way it was supposed to be. The high school football state championship games were supposed to be the previous weekend on the 7th and 8th, and we had the fires, and that's why it ended up on the same weekend. So when they planned the All-Star Classic, it wasn't on the same weekend as the state finals. It just kind of ended up that way.
But yeah, a great game nonetheless.
All right, so congratulations to the Riverside County All-Stars, 35-7. Barry Meyer, right about
right there.
Right there, yeah, there he is, right there. That's Barry Meyer, the winning coach. A local legend came out of retirement, and it was Dick Bruick on the other sideline, the Fohai and Kaiser local legend. I mean, he's a great. And in fact, he was here in our studio last week for the San Bernardino County All-Stars. But everyone had a good time. They had fantastic uniforms from Ken Sporting Goods and also from Adidas, I should mention. So it was a great time out there, and congratulations to Riverside County. We're going to take a break. When we come back here on the Inland Sports TV show, we're going to toss out some names. We're going to break down who is signing early scholarships for high school football, because the big names here in the Inland Empire are going to get the job done tomorrow. They're going to put the ink to the paper, sign it, and call it a done deal. And they're going to be going to school here in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's bizarre. Bizarre to me that they're able to sign, graduate, and start participating with their college programs within a couple of weeks. Because we're living in a time now, like, if you sign your scholarship and then you wait until like July to go to your school, like enroll at your school, it's too late. If you wanted to play, it's too late. You could have 6 months with that team, at least being on campus, going to college classes, going through spring ball, conditioning, lifting, whatever else is going on. If you wait till July or August to get on campus with the team, it's too late. Yes, it is. Yes, but now guys, like I said, are moving on. We saw it last year, and there's some big names this year as well. All right, so we'll talk college football signings coming up tomorrow, specifically with Jayden Daniels as well, as he made his big decision about where he's taking his talents next season. We'll be back on the Inland Sports TV show.
What's up? It's Patrick and 40 morning on 96.7 KCal Rocks.
You're watching the Inland Sports TV show. We love you, Pep.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show, proudly brought to you by Spoiled, quick quality oil change, Kin Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalano Motors in Corona. All right, so signing day is coming up, December 19th. I remember last year, I think it fell on the 21st. I went out to Aquinas because they had Big Jasper Freeze and
the big Germans.
And Joshka Gustav, Colorado. Jasper Freeze went to Cal. And I remember that was the first time they had this early signing period. I thought it was just so bizarre. Here we are. I got presents under the tree. I got lights on my house. I'm thinking Christmas. And these guys are signing scholarships. You know, like early. It's usually February. It's that first Wednesday in February. But now it's the early signing period. And if you're one of the elite high school football players, now don't get me wrong, a lot of guys will still sign scholarships in February, but kind of that elite tier of guys, they're signing tomorrow.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, with this early signing period, these kids have to graduate early, which is really, really a tough task to get everything done and graduate a semester early. So these are true student athletes. They're not just guys signing scholarships to go play somewhere. These guys are smart, they're athletic, and they're determined to make it at the next level.
Yeah, I remember some guys even like Kylie Fitz out of Rev, and Jalen Phillips was another guy. You know, they finish up their senior season playing high school football. Then they go to like the Army All-American Bowl. And then right after it, they go right to school. Like, remember Justin Dedich out of Chaparral.
Yes, he
came on our show, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going off to USC now.
Yeah, he ate like 30 pounds of sushi the night before, and then he goes, hey, I'm playing in this all-star game, and then I leave from the airport and go to my dorm at USC.
It's just crazy. It's just a quick transition. It's just the time we're living in. You couldn't do that before. Okay, so here's some of the local guys who are signing tomorrow in the early signing period. And we threw this out on Twitter. We appreciate you guys who hit us up. Make sure you follow Inland Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Here's the short list of a couple guys. One is Temecula Valley quarterback Easton Gibbs. He will sign with the Wyoming Cowboys, which I love Mountain West Conference football. Anywhere in Mountain West is great football.
Great football, great offense, a lot of scoring. It is a high octane offense and defense. It's a great.
And the cities too, like those Mountain West cities are awesome. Like Boise, Fresno, Cheyenne, Wyoming. It's awesome football. Easton Gibbs, 24 touchdown passes, 9 on the ground. But his story is more as an athlete. He's probably going to be like a safety or something at the next level.
They're going to move him to the defensive side of the ball because he is that superstar athlete.
Yeah, he's just a fantastic athlete, as is Orlando Ornelas out of Chaparral. He's going to sign with UC Davis. This was also a situation with the Pumas where they didn't have a quarterback. And Orlando's such a great athlete. They're like, you play quarterback. You do everything well. You play quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome and weird in the same token as you got guys that are specific to their position in high school, and then they go to college. The kid at Oregon State last year.
Yeah.
From
Caleb Hayes.
Caleb Hayes.
Caleb Hayes was a quarterback at San G. Now he's a DB at Oregon State. Well, Nate Metters.
Yeah.
Nate Metters played quarterback at San G. Now he was a DB at UCLA. So Orlando signing with Davis. We've got Warren Hardin out of Riverside Poly.
Going to Eastern Washington?
Yeah, the big defensive lineman. A couple guys out of Linfield Christian going Division I, both in the Pac-12. Travion Brown, he's going to sign with Washington State tomorrow. And Ben Coleman will sign with the California Golden Bears. You're a Cal Golden Bear.
I am a Cal Golden Bear. Go Bears.
We also have a couple guys out of Cajon. Jonathan Perkins taking his talents to Oklahoma.
Oh, that's a big story right there.
That's big time.
Oh, that's huge. Anytime you mention Oklahoma or you mention any of the programs that these Cajon players are playing for, they're all giant teams.
Yeah, like teams that are in the national championship conversation. And Cam Stevens, another Cajon defensive player, defensive back, he is signing with Nevada. So our guy John Ramey will be saying Cam Stevens a lot the next 4 years.
Yes, he will. Yes, Nevada?
Nevada.
Okay.
Not Nevada. He's not going to Nevada. He's going to Nevada.
He's going to Nevada.
He's going to the Wolfpack.
Whatever. Okay.
All right. So that's the short list of guys signing early tomorrow, those high school football stars. One of them, and this was kind of the big fish, right? I mean, we were talking about
the big fish everywhere. He's the biggest fish in America.
Jayden Daniels. We streamed it live on IEMG TV because everyone wanted to know where Jayden Daniels was going to sign. Because a lot of these guys, they like to verbally commit early.
Yeah.
They like to put it out on social media. I am committed to Boomer Sooner. I'm going to Oklahoma or wherever it may be, and it's a done deal. But Jayden Daniels was that one guy. I was like, keeping it close to the vest. I'm not telling anybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a big shock to me. I'm not going to say where, I'll let you guys, but a big, big shock where he decided to take his talent to, as he said.
Well, I think we all thought it was going to be Utah.
He was wearing the red wristbands.
With UCLA, following up as a close second. And then from out of nowhere, here comes Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards, the NFL guy, comes in and is swooping up all these big-time players.
Congratulations to Jayden Daniels. Let's toss it over to Cullen Holt. He has more on the Cajon Cowboys star who made his decision last week and will sign tomorrow. Cullen?
Yeah, Christmas definitely came early for Sun Devil football fans, and they may not have gotten the win in the Las Vegas Bowl. But on Thursday, Jayden Daniels did announce that he will be taking his talents to Tempe, signing with the Sun Devils. This dual-threat quarterback out of Cajon High School holds the Southern Section records for both career passing touchdowns and career passing yards. That's over 14,000 yards of passing in his 4 years as the starter for Cajon and 170 touchdowns. So this guy choosing out of UCLA, Utah, Cal, and then, of course, Arizona State, who was actually kind of late to the Cajon Jayden Daniels sweepstakes, was not in his top 8, which he announced back in May, but Herm Edwards, in his second year at the helm of the Sun Devils, came in late, got Jayden Daniels to commit. He will be enrolling early. He said spring football starts in February, so he'll graduate from Cajon and get headed to Tempe. We caught up with Jayden Daniels after he made his big announcement, which, like you said, blew up on social media and on YouTube. Here's what he had to say about becoming a Sun Devil.
Sports. I'm real excited, just going down there, getting ready for...
Excited to see what he can do starting next season and throughout his 4 years with the Sun Devils. Pep and Geoff, back to you guys.
All right, great stuff, Colin. Yeah, when these guys sign or commit, it's a big deal. All these, college football message boards and all these social media platforms, everyone goes nuts about it. And it was a big deal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Arizona State covered your press conference or your stream, and it was on their website. And I'm like, hey, Inland Sports.
Arizona State
covered it, and Herm Edwards mentioned stuff. So, yeah, so everybody followed it on your stream. Good job, buddy.
And I'm going to see Jayden Daniels tomorrow because we do a thing called the Fall League Champions show for IMG TV. So we're going to have Jayden Daniels on IMG tomorrow. We're going to tape it tomorrow, but you probably won't see it until about January, somewhere like first or second week of January. But so, I'm going to ask him more about Arizona State because, again, they scooped him up at the 12th hour at the last minute because, Geoff, remember, he had offers from Alabama, Ohio State,
everywhere.
Florida, Georgia, everywhere.
And I thought Chip Kelly would have had a shot just because of that.
Because he's your BFF.
He's my BFF. No, the high-octane offense that he had at Oregon, I thought maybe they had a shot. But, man, Herm Edwards, if you look across the board, what he did just in that day, signing day, or the commitment day, wow, he got some big-time players, and the best is from our area.
And listen, I don't know how this all went down with Jayden and ASU, but I have a feeling it went like this. If I'm Herm Edwards, I'd be like, Jayden, what's your goal? Make it to the NFL? Okay, here's the deal. On this phone, I have the cell phone number for every GM and head coach in the NFL. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a nice recruiting tool when you can.
That's what
say, hey, I'm going to call up the commissioner. Would you like to talk to him right now? Here he is. Yeah,
Raj.
I mean,
we just call Raj.
Yeah, that future for Jayden Daniels is so, his ceiling is so high.
Oh, it's so fun to cover him, especially these last 2 years. I mean, man, what a run by the Cowboys.
He's tall. He's athletic. He can throw the ball. He's just going to become mature. He's going to fill into that body. He'll be an NFL player, I think, if he continues to get strength and continue to evolve into the player that we know he can be.
Absolutely. He's got NFL written all over him. The only bummer is, Geoff, with him signing with Arizona State. Remember, you had that whole thing. You were going to send him to Canada.
Yeah.
He was going to play in the CFL.
That's right. He was supposed to forego his amateur status. He was supposed to go to what did I say, Canada? He was going to get his own shoe.
The Ottawa Rough Riders.
He was going to get his own shoe. He was going to get his own cheeseburger. Some chain up there would have taken care of him. And I could have been his agent. I would have only collected maybe 12%. But still, 12% off of $1 million isn't bad.
Oh, he's going the college route.
Dang it.
He's going to ASU. When we come back, we're going to hoop it up with California Baptist and their star player this year who was fantastic. Another big game last night for Milan Acquaah. That's when we come back on the Inland Sports TV show.
going on, guys? Coach Bass here. To all you football players, as season comes to an end, don't miss the opportunity to get better this offseason. We're rolling out our overtime strength training program. Our overtime program is a 3-6-week cycle that'll be starting on January 7th. We're going to have 3 levels: beginners, intermediate, and advanced for elementary, middle, and high school athletes. And what you can expect with our overtime program is what you can always expect here at Boost. Strength development, speed development. We're going to be doing performance testing and nutritional guidance to help you guys get bigger, stronger, and faster. So overtime's coming back. It's starting January 7th, and it's going to be better than ever. If you'd like to find more information about our overtime program that has served a lot of great athletes in the Corona-Norco area, feel free to contact us directly through Facebook, on Instagram at Boost Training, or Twitter, Boost_Training, or reach out to us directly here at our gym at 951-532-4904.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cahelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
First rep in the event center.
Yeah, we have beauty mark on her forehead. A couple of subtle differences. Madison's face.
And the college basketball environment that's going to be created here.
Inland Sports. Welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Jeff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez, talking a little California Baptist men's basketball. Big win last night against Southeastern Louisiana, 73-52, the final score in that one. The Lancers get Southern University on Wednesday, so a couple games down there in Louisiana, down in the Bayou.
Hey, the team they beat last night was in the tournament last year. They ended up beating them by 20.
Yeah, that's a March Madness team.
Yeah, it's a March Madness team, and they did it on the road. I'll tell you, Coach Croy really has his guys playing on all cylinders, and I think it helped because they're an older team. They're guys that have played through the ringer. They played Division I basketball. They played high-level Division II basketball. But just playing for Coach Croy, he brings it up a notch.
So Milan Acquaah had 22 in that victory for the Lancers last night. Right now in the WAC, in the Western Athletic Conference, Milan Acquaah is the leading scorer. Like, there's nobody better than Milan Acquaah.
I don't know if you know this. We mentioned it last week. He is in the top 10 in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals as far as guards in Division I. He's the only guy in all 4 categories.
And I know he's a good guy because he grew up in a part of Bakersfield that I'm very familiar with. So you know he's a good guy.
He's a good guy because he grew up in Bakersfield?
That's right.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're a Bakersfield guy.
Let's go inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling. Let's get to know a little bit better CBU star Milan Acquaah. We're going inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling with CBU star Milan Acquaah. Milan, man, you get to the Lancers and the entire team is playing well, but you've spearheaded this effort. You're kind of leading that charge right now. Talk about this season individually for yourself, but also for this team as they go into their first season in Division I. And so far, some big wins on the Lancers' resume early in the season.
Well, definitely, it's definitely been a great start for us. As far as confidence goes, I feel like we've done a great job of coming together so far, fighting through adversity. We had a couple of tough losses on the road, at home last week. So I feel like just coming together has been our biggest key. Sticking with each other, and when somebody falls, we pick them up. We're always looking towards the next play, towards the next game. And that's just been our mantra for the season.
How about hugs? I mean, because I think Coach Croy gives the best hugs out there. I'm thinking specifically of the UC Riverside game. You came out of the game, you just had a great effort. You guys were, on the cusp of winning, and he loves to give like these big bear hugs. And I mean, what do you think of Coach Croy and his coaching style and the way he just kind of embraces his players?
Well, I mean, CBU as a whole is just a great environment, great family-oriented environment. I feel like they accept everybody in as a member of the family, and that's basically what it's been since I've been here. It's just been a big family. We all embrace each other. We all love each other. We all love being around each other, and I think that leads to success for us on the court, as far as team chemistry and building relationships as well. So I feel like we've done a great job, and we're headed in the right direction as far as that goes.
Well, Milan, there's only a handful of teams in Division I college basketball that can shoot the three like California Baptist. Yourself, you've got guys also on the floor with you that can shoot from long range as well. What is it about this team that you guys shoot a lot, but you also make a lot of three-pointers?
Acquaah with a deep three. It's good!
I just think that just comes from time in the gym. We all put a tremendous amount of work in. We work on our craft to try to perfect it so that when we're in the game, it's just like we're in the gym by ourselves. And I feel like that hard work shows off every night. We're able to make tough shots, able to make shots in pressure situations due to the work that we put in. And there's no secret behind it. It just comes from working hard and putting the time in.
Now, as a transfer from Washington State, I'm sure you've played in a lot of, great arenas, historic places, great crowds. How does CBU's home crowd here at the CBU Event Center kind of stack up to some of the places that you've played basketball at? Because you've played at some, in the Pac-12, there's great places. But this home crowd here at CBU, it's hard to duplicate. I mean, it's a pretty special place.
Well, like I said earlier, my experience at CBU has been it's like a very family-oriented environment, and that shows in the arena. The fans come out and support every night, no matter who we're playing, and I feel like that really helps us find energy throughout the game to be able to push through moments and get through pressure situations or be able to perform our best on the court. I just feel like the family-oriented environment is what leads to the arena being as live as it is.
Now, you're new to the program, but you come in and I feel like you're an instant leader. How do you kind of view yourself in your role on the CBU team?
Well, coach has definitely given me confidence to be able to help lead this team. I feel like with my experience playing at this Division I level already, I can help the guys get through some of the adversity and tough times that you go through as a college basketball athlete. So it's definitely just confidence from coaching staff and my teammates to be able to lead the team as one of our captains, and it's definitely a huge honor for me.
Have you ever hit a bigger shot than the Oral Roberts game?
Have I ever hit a bigger shot? I've hit another game winner when I was in high school, but not from that deep.
And how about just the fact that I'm sure your phone was blowing up? I mean, it was all over social media. It was on SportsCenter. You know what I mean? Like that was the shot heard around the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a cool experience. As far as being able to be seen on the national TV. I just feel like our team fought very hard in that game, so the shot was just icing on the cake, basically, to get that win.
So I think that was the first Division I victory, right, against a Division I opponent. So, this is a historic season for the simple fact that, California Baptist is playing its first Division I schedule. You get that first Division I win, you beat UC Riverside. There's been some signature victories, I guess, along the way this season. As you guys get ready for WAC play, do you feel like this is a CBU team that, I know you can't make the NCAA tournament, but you can still get a postseason bid. You can still win the regular season WAC title. You feel like this is a CBU team that can, achieve some of those goals that you guys are set out for yourselves?
Definitely. I think we've been making pushes throughout the season, and that comes with just fighting through adversity, knowing that the road's going to be tough. I just feel like as long as we continue to push and have the fearless mindset that we do, our team is basically based on being fearless, based off being fearless. And I feel like if we have that mindset going into the WAC or whoever we play, our opponent really doesn't matter. We'll be able to find ways to be successful because of our team chemistry and ability to play together.
Well, Milan, we're doing this interview for Inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling inside the film room here at CBU, which is unbelievable. Are you a film guy? Do you love to break down the X's and O's? I mean, how would you kind of describe the way you do, quote unquote, homework, to prepare for an opponent?
Definitely, film is a big part of how I develop my game. I always look at stuff that I can improve on, stuff that our team can improve on, how it can help lead guys and push guys to the next level or take the next step in their game. So I would say film is definitely a big part of our success, and we'll continue to use it as a way to develop and get better.
Is there a guy in the NBA that you look at and say, you know what, my game is similar to his, or something that you'd want to emulate? Like, I have maybe some of the same attributes as that guy. I feel like I kind of play like his style.
Well, I would say the player that I would say I look at the most is probably Russell Westbrook, as far as his mindset towards the game. He's always ready to go, always gives his heart on the floor, plays his hardest at all times, and that's something that I definitely look to do when I step on the floor. But as far as skill-wise, I would say nobody in the NBA has a better skill set than Kyrie Irving, so that's someone that I definitely study and try to implement some of his stuff into my game as well.
See, I thought you were going to say Lonzo Ball, because I know your family friends,
yeah,
right? The Ball family.
That's definitely my best friend, but I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from him too. Growing up, we've had battles, so it's just different. I don't really look up to him because that's like my brother, so.
You guys are like the same age, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Right about there? So.
Yeah.
Milan, finally, as you go through the rest of the non-conference schedule before you get to WAC play, I know the Louisiana trip is coming up. What are some positives that CBU has been doing so far through the season, and what are some areas that you guys want to clean up before you get to conference play?
Some positives, I would say, like I said earlier, our ability to fight through adversity. We've been down in a lot of games, but we've never just let a team get away from us, except for the Nevada game, and that was due to a culmination of things. But I feel like our defense has been very, very strong and well put together, and I feel like as long as we continue to improve that, we'll be a force to be reckoned with in the WAC, for sure.
All right, that's Milan Acquaah as we just went inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling here on the Inland Sports TV show.
And we just went inside the Lancers, presented by Magnolia Heating and Cooling with Milan Acquaah, who is best friends, brothers with Lonzo Ball.
What? Come on.
Yeah, that's true. You heard it. You heard it here.
Well, he needs to separate that friendship. If he wants to be successful. We don't want him to be a bust like Lonzo.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah. See, I'm a Laker fan. I'm allowed to say those things. If I wasn't a Laker fan, but yeah, I'm an Acquaah fan. I'm not a Ball fan at all.
You know, the question I did miss with him, which is kind of like the corny, obvious question, was, are you going to go see Aquaman? Because you probably, how many people probably call him Aquaman, right?
I would.
I'd call him Aquaman.
That would be that's a great nickname to have in college. Aquaman. My wife's in love with the real Aquaman.
Yeah, we said, hey, we got Milan Acquaah on the show today. She's like, Aqua? Like, the guy who's Aqua? We're like, no, don't get too excited.
Yeah, not that guy with the long hair.
Unless you like CBU hoops, you're going to be disappointed. All right, when we come back here, Jeff is back from Texas, everybody.
Yeah.
He's back from the University of Texas, El Paso, travel with UC Riverside. It was an interesting trip for the Highlanders. We're going to talk about Jeff's trip. We're also going to talk a little college football bowl season and some very big news in Jeff's personal life.
I have big news in my personal life?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear
I'm going to share it for you.
I can't wait.
We'll be right back on the Inland Sports TV show.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You're going to save thousands of dollars at Catalano Motors. And Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF Championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports TV show. Big week of hoops for the UC Riverside men's basketball team tomorrow night, taking on Life Pacific and our good friend Tim Cook.
Timmy Cook.
And then a Saturday matinee, 2 o'clock tip-off against Loyola Marymount.
Yeah, Loyola is one of the best teams right now.
You told me they're ranked in some poll.
The NCAA has their own poll that they're doing this year, and they were ranked 7th on their first poll.
How can that be?
And people were angry and outraged because they were ranked ahead of Kentucky, North Carolina, all these big schools after the first week. But I will say this, they are a very good school in the WCC and will give Gonzaga a run for their money.
So that could be like the WCC championship game, because I know St. Mary's is usually in the mix for that, right? So, but
yeah, LMU is very, very good. Mike Dunlap, who coached Michael Jordan when he was in his last stint with the Wizards, remember he was the head coach. Just a very good coach, good program, and on the rise.
And we saw LMU last year. The Highlanders played in Los Angeles against Loyola Marymount. And I know LMU won the game, but if I remember correctly, it was one of those games where UCR fell behind early and it had to take the entire game to battle back, and they made it close in the final minutes. It's just another one of those games that just got away.
Yep, it sure was. And, we saw that a lot last year with UCR. This year, though, a little bit of a different feel with this team. It really is.
A lot of new faces.
A lot of new faces, young. We're starting to see the emergence of the identity of this program. Zach Watson, Menno Dykstra's playing well. Dikembe Martin averaging over 16 points a game. He's been a stalwart for the Highlanders all season long. But Dragan Elkaz, Callum McRae, these guys are young. And guess what? There's guys in the wings. This UCR team is going to be really, really tough in the next 2 to 3 years.
Speaking of, you just got back from the University of Texas El Paso. UCR played there on Sunday afternoon. They lost the game, but that's not the story, because you had a giant steak.
Yeah, the biggest story of the entire weekend is I went to the Cattleman Ranch. The Cattleman Ranch is supposedly the best steakhouse in America, and I had a 2-pound steak and all the fixins.
And you ate the whole thing?
I guess I did. Yes, I did. I'm very proud of it. No, it was a great time. I'll tell you what, just being, there's a history, a social history at the University of Texas El Paso. Remember, they were Texas Western. They won the national championship in 1966. They were the first team to have 5 starting players, and they were all African Americans. It was unheard of at the time. And they beat Adolph Rupp and the Kentucky team to win the national championship. And to this day, it is the only national championship in men's basketball in the state of Texas. So a lot of storied history there. They had a lot of
it's the only national title?
The only national
in the
title
state of Texas.
For the state of Texas. I looked it up and I was like, you got to be kidding me, but that's true. UTEP, it was a great basketball facility. It held 12,000 people. 8,000 were there yelling and screaming. It was a great college environment. That was a game that UCR really, it was low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
They should have beat them.
Should have won that one.
They just didn't play. They didn't come ready to play. And that's what happens when you have such a young team.
Despite the loss, it was a banner weekend for Jeff Gorham. He had a giant 2-pound steak. And if you think things couldn't get any better, Jeff flew first class back to the Riv.
Yeah, I did. The thing was, it's always nice when you're hanging out with Menno Dykstra, who's 7'1", and you stand next to him. And we flew back on American Airlines. And, we've been flying Southwest. There's no first class here, so we fly American, and they go, you need a first class ticket to Menno Dykstra. And then I said, hey, I'm no slouch. And she looked at me and she said, well, you kind of are, but how tall are you? And I said, I'm 6'8". So I got an upgrade. So I'm sitting next to Menno Dykstra on this plane. My legs were out. They were offering us beverages. They were giving us everything we wanted.
Big baller status.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was like flying in one of those private planes. It was awesome. Yeah, Coach Patrick was in the back of the plane with the other guys. We were sipping beautiful beverages and having a great time.
Like big baller, like the Ball family status.
The Ball. Oh man, those Ball family.
We're gonna get to that.
I got my kids here. They're just like the Ball kids.
I can't even hear them.
No, they're quiet because they know they'll get us.
Wait, hold that. Opening presents. Hopefully, watching a lot of college football in the next week or two. A couple guys locally that keep an eye on. Alexander Madison for Boise State in the First Responder Bowl. They're playing Boston College. That's the day after Christmas. We've got Javon McKinley and Jack Lamb, local guys. McKinley out of Centennial, Lamb out of Great Oak. They play for Notre Dame. Buzzy Bolton, starting linebacker for Oklahoma. They could win a national championship. A couple guys for the Washington Huskies, including Jalen Johnson out of Centennial and Marquise Spiker. Remember, out of Marietta Valley, one of the top receivers.
The best high school receiver in the history of California.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. So no show next week. It'll be Christmas, but Jeff and I will have, we'll call them additional shows, additional programming when we go on the road with UC Riverside. We're going to Air Force in Colorado.
Ooh, awesome.
And we're going to Kalamazoo to see Western Michigan, all on the same trip.
That's a long trip, and you and I are going to be rooming together. I'll tell you what, I'm excited. We're going to eat at some fine establishments, and then we're just going to cuddle. It's going to be cold, and I'm not going to wear a jacket. I'm just going to hold you.
Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare go to first class without me. If you stand up and say, I'm 6'8" and I need first class, and you leave me back in coach, I'm going to be really mad. But I do get it. You've got 3 boys. They call you the LeVar Ball of the Inland Empire.
They do.
You ride in first class. You like exquisite things. Can we go ahead and punch up Jeff's logo? Jeff now
got a logo.
Has his own logo. So this is the first step to being the next LeVar Ball. You have 3 boys. Your 3 boys love basketball. They grew up with a basketball in their hand. You like expensive, nice things, and now you've got your own logo. So
where's my logo?
Let's punch up the Jeff Gorham logo back
I have
here,
a logo.
now you have your own logo, Jeff. And my first thought was, why do you need a logo?
Because I'm cool, and I'm going to will my children to becoming the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm going to will it into existence. I don't see a logo, though.
You're going to speak it into existence?
I'm going to
Cullen, go check on Johnny Boy. What is he doing back there? I brought donuts.
There it is.
I thought we were.
Look at that. I got my own logo. Yeah, I'm double G.
What is that?
See, it's a G. Look, right there. G. There's the regular G, and then the next one is the backwards G, because I'm Jeff with a G, like the giraffe, and I'm Gorham. So that's going to be on my signature shoe someday when my boys are playing for the Lakers. I will say this, though.
No, but this is not a joke. This is a real logo.
That's a real logo. That was made by Riker Pierce, the great Boy Scout, Eagle Scout of the UC Riverside Highlanders, made me the logo.
Wait, did you ask him to, or did he say, hey, Jeff, look what I did?
When you're a Gorham and you live in Riverside and you have the 3 Gorham boys, things just happen, and it was a magical thing. And he sent it to me. He goes, I think it was for a class or something. And he goes, hey, I made you a logo. And I looked at it. I said, that's pretty crazy. Look at that thing.
It looks like it's the letter B, and it like passed out and fell over.
Hey, you know what? How dare you? That's a besmirching of the name. That's a great logo. I mean, he took time out of his day to make me a logo.
No, it does. It looks awesome. So first the logo. Next, we'll just be waiting on the Facebook Live series with your family. A reality show. In fact, we could start it today, right now. Your family is in the other room.
Oh, they're maniacs. I'm telling you, my little kids, they're back there. We should see them. We should pull them out of here.
Should we?
Yeah, pull him over here.
Cullen, go get his kids.
Let's get the Gorham.
Go get his kids.
Get the Gorham boys.
Why not? This is our, again, before things get too crazy.
Come here, Gorham boys.
This is our last show of the calendar year. Jeff and I will do some special programming on the road in Colorado. And
come on over here. Go over here. Come
Luke,
on.
come here. Luke, look.
Come here. Look. Yes, we're on TV. Here, look.
Give me here, Johnny.
All right. Hey. There we are.
You're only missing one. You could be LeVar Ball of
I'm going to will you guys. You guys are going to play for the Lakers. All right.
Look at Luke. Look at Luke.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, no, over here. Over here, guys. Look.
No, look right there. Baby. All right, baby.
Goodbye. We'll see you next year.
Bye. Wait, bye.
Bye, Luke. Say bye, Luke.
Oh, he's done. He's out.
No, he's out. We're out. Everyone's out.